The gold standard. This is the Lean Constitution. This is the graphic that has the potential to visually communicate to all stakeholders the entire Toyota production system upon which every lean effort originates. This offers a visual understanding of the complete reinforcing system of concepts. Each concept, when used effectively, strengthens others to the point of creating a genuine and lasting competitive advantage. It is also invaluable for an organizational assessment, a planning roadmap, and an educational prioritization tool. In the assessment, prioritization, and execution process, I expect the return on investment for my contribution of Lean and Six Sigma to be substantial. I would like it to be quantified and transparent. The implementation of concepts, tools, and process reengineering will increase efficiency and the reduction of waste and lead times. Better and more efficient processes will also increase responsiveness to customer requirements, improving quality, ultimately translating into increased profit, which of course is the compelling justification for the lean effort in the first place. On the other hand, organizations focusing on cost cutting, such as quotas on staff reduction, run the risk of creating fear, with the effect of having employees less likely to challenge the system necessary to create continuous improvement. Further, a public focus on reducing headcounts can create unintended consequences such as hiding mistakes, which can actually increase costs and possibly affect quality and customer satisfaction. And companies getting to the point where they're emphasizing cutting costs on equipment and materials are generally at the point where they're creating a downward spiral. There are many precedents where cost cutting will not increase efficiency nor improve quality and end up helping the bottom line. Lean is like a journey. You have to know where you're starting from, what optimal routes are available, and where you want to go and when you want to get there. The parallel in organizations would be, what is the current state of our processes, organizational capability, and culture? How should we optimize and prioritize lean training, concepts, and tools to support our overall strategy? And what is our customer vision? What is their desired unique selling proposition and marketing position? Let's break this down a little further. I'm going to take a brief and high-level approach to describe the 5 major concepts, understanding that each of these major concepts have subcomponents, and each of these subcomponents by themselves could require in-depth and dedicated training. Let's begin with stability, the foundation necessary for the rest of the system to be implemented. There are specific types of waste to look for. This is where the concept of lean thinking came to be. By learning to think about the various forms of waste, one can recognize them and collaborate with coworkers to get them eliminated. Now, standardizing the way work is done, surprisingly, makes everyone's job easier and prevents variability in the quality of work. It also helps reduce work imbalances, where some people are overburdened. This is a component of line balancing. Then there's 5S, which creates a physical work environment where the things one needs are where they're supposed to be and when they're supposed to be there. And the things used most often are closest and most accessible, eliminating walking around having to search for things required to get work done and increasing frustration. This is a far more powerful concept than many people realize. When done properly, it can make a very big difference in one's work. Raw goods, work in progress, and finished goods inventory are hard to control, count, keep track of. They clutter the physical environment. They can slow down cycle time, complicate operations, and tie up company money. Essentially, the customer, staff, and company profit can suffer when inventory is too high. Value stream mapping is a tool for staff collaboration on understanding how to drive out waste, make work easier, and deliver products to customers faster and at higher quality. It's a teamwork-oriented visual exercise to get everyone on the same page, solving problems together. Flow, the category necessary to decrease lead times and costs. Once the stability and foundation are in place, the systems allow for streamlined flow where the operations are balanced, inventory is easier to manage, and production can focus on smaller batches based on customer demand. Kanban, customer pull systems instead of mass production, which gets operations into the trouble we addressed in the stability initiative. Respect for people, the engine that drives the business. The objective is to make the work people do less tedious, frustrating, and more productive, so staff add more value without having to work harder. Staff has the encouragement to use their experience to influence the way things are done, to improve the way their daily work is conducted. In the respect for people section, there's some very familiar concepts such as jidoka, which is where machines actually help people do their work. Machines, without the worker having to watch over them, can actually help keep products within control. And then you've got anden, which encourages and gives people the opportunity and the authority to stop production when they see things are not going as planned. And then finally there is poka-yoke, which is error proofing. In other words, it's creating processes that make it very difficult to fail because the processes are so finely tuned. Lean and Six Sigma are originally based on manufacturing operations. The body of knowledge used to study and get certified in Lean and Six Sigma are therefore based primarily on manufacturing. However, if the goal is to reduce waste and decrease lead time for the entire value stream of order to cash, there can easily be greater than 50% service processes to streamline and reduce, particularly if one takes non-direct material processing into account, like applying Lean Six Sigma to administrative and sales processes. In addition to understanding Lean and Six Sigma in manufacturing, I've spent much of my career improving service processes in many aspects of services and businesses. One example is how one reduces work in process in services. On the manufacturing floor and in the yard or warehouse, inventory can be seen and counted. You can see scrap. In services, WIP is usually invisible. It's emails waiting for a response, an inbox, an outbox that isn't moving. Reports are in progress or haven't yet been reviewed. Lean and Six Sigma have shown great promise and results in service, but the application is newer with fewer experts. All this WIP costs money, compromises flow, and reduces lead times. Therefore, it should be incorporated into any Lean effort. Improvement, the category that cements competitive advantage. Implementing small daily, ongoing incremental improvements utilizing employee observation, experience, and creativity, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly, can completely transform the way a company performs. The continuous small improvements can make a company world-class. I've also shown here 3 methods that are commonly used for much larger process improvements that require more human resources and often more capital resources. I added number 5, vision and strategy. While Lean can create a very impressive return on investment independently, it is most effective when driven by a laser-like strategy, a strategy that reinforces initiatives, continually strengthening and tightening how the organization is able to help its well-defined target market succeed. I want to interject how important a clear and well understood strategy is to implementing a lean approach to operations. Lean efforts, like all efforts, make more sense to the organization's staff when they understand why they are doing things. Staff will be more engaged with the lean initiative if they understand why they are doing them, and even more so when they participate in developing the initiatives themselves. Following is a very brief example of a visual strategy that is balanced and visual so the entire organization can understand it. I'm not going to get into the details of many of the inputs of customer vision or the development of the critical few objectives and measures that need to be regularly monitored and communicated, because there's just not enough time. But I'm going to give you a brief overview. The strategy graphic shows, just like the Lean Initiative, how a visual strategy can help everyone understand where the company is going and why. Rather than focus too much on financial results, which is not uncommon, it also incorporates the drivers to those financial results. 1. To reach the financial targets, how must our customers be satisfied? 2. To satisfy customers, what internal capabilities must we have? And then 3. To create the required internal capabilities to satisfy our customers, how must the company learn and grow to create the human capability and culture to glue everything together? Finally, my suggestion would be to create a dedicated position to facilitate a visual lean roadmap connected to the CFP strategy. Add in some Six Sigma and then measure the return on investment for this new position.